Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this is TBC News. Our top stories. Vice President orders fast-track completion of the Malagasy-Uvinza Road project. Prime Minister issues Iringa Airport operationalization ultimatum. Good evening. I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has instructed the Ministry of Works to ensure that the construction of the 51.1-kilometer Malagarasi-Uvinza is completed by March 2025 as planned. The Vice President gave the directive after inspecting the progress of the construction, his official visit to Kigoma region, insisting that the road is strategic, acting as an important economic link for Tanzania and the neighboring countries.
Kuchukua hatua pale ambapo mnaona kuna mtu atawachelewesha.
Do not hesitate to take necessary measures upon a person who will make you lag behind. May your focus be on this road since it is a very important center for economic activities. Let us use this opportunity and open this part of our country in order to speed up development.
Furthermore, Dr. Mpango has also inspected the progress of the 132 kilovolts power located in Guruka Village, Uvinza district in Kigoma, commending the Ministry of Energy on the progress made so far.
Let us congratulate the Ministry of Energy and TANESCO for reaching 95% of this project. Our president has invested a lot in this. I thank the whole team for doing a good job. I will continue to offer my support as well. The government is continuing with this effort. You open up Kigoma as a center for business opportunities.
The Vice President stresses that the government is committed to strategically position Kigoma region better with affordable access to electricity so as to attract more investors and also enable the residents to maximize more on the opportunities available in the region to boost their income. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has issued an ultimatum of 23 days to the Ministries of Works and other institutions in charge of the aviation sector and the leadership of Iringa region to solve all existing challenges to ensure the Iringa Airport becomes operational by August this year. Here are more details.
He gave directives earlier today while addressing various government leaders and citizens at the airport after inspecting the progress of the construction of the airport. The construction is expected to cost 63.7 billion Tanzanian shilling, while the management cost is expected to be 1.1 billion Tanzanian shilling.
Katibu Mkuu ameeleza maelezo ya kitaalamu kabisa.
As the Permanent Secretary and the Minister explained that 93% of the airport is complete, the remaining 7% is small, and it should not take long to be completed by 30th of August. As you promised, the airport will be ready by 1st of September and planes should start landing.
He said that construction of the Iringa Airport has reached 93% and the airport is of international standards, stressing that the airport together with the tarmac roads, when completed, will increase the income of Iringa region. Furthermore, the Prime Minister has instructed the Iringa Regional Commissioner, Peter Serukamba, to form a team to explore best ways to promote the region's tourist attractions, including the Ruaha National Park.
The Minister of Finance, Mwigulu Nchemba, has called on Denmark to increase cooperation in the energy sector, financial sector, and multiply investment in the new Denmark Development Cooperation Agenda 2024. Nchemba gave the call while bidding farewell to the outgoing Danish ambassador to Tanzania, met disinspirited in Dar es Salaam, acknowledging his efforts to convince the country to reverse its decision to close its embassy in the country.
Moja ya maeneo tukiwa tunashukuru ushiriki wa A4 kwenye reli lot 1 na 2.
We also would like to extend our greetings to companies that wanted to invest in wind energy. We have many opportunities for that, for example, in areas such as Makambako, Singida, and Dodoma. There were also companies that wanted to invest in fertilizers. All in all, we are grateful for the relationship between us and Denmark in the health sector. We hope that this partnership will continue.
On the other hand, the outgoing Danish ambassador has expressed her satisfaction on the Tanzanians' positive development and economic strides, vowing to continue to be an ambassador for Tanzanians' efforts of attracting more investments.
And we hope that we can also engage more together on peace and security in the wider sense, since Tanzania is still a very peaceful island in a not too peaceful region, and things are not exactly going in the right direction. And we've been very happy to see Tanzania under President Samia Suluhu Hassan's government to engage more regionally, as we think the region really needs. And if we can do anything on the Danish side to engage with you, we would be happy to do so.
In other news, a 3-day East Africa Cooperation Ministerial retreat on peace and security, partner states relations and integration process is concluded in the islands of Zanzibar, with the delegates adopting various resolutions on the issues related to defense and security for the member countries. During the meeting, the ministers of Uganda and Rwanda have agreed to discuss openly the challenges facing the countries to end any possible emerging conflicts.
Rwanda and Burundi will meet by 31st October 2024 to discuss outstanding issues affecting their bilateral relations. The ministers reviewed the status of the implementation of the 4 integration pillars and emphasized the need for demonstration of political commitment and goodwill to ensure realization of goals for each pillar.
Tanzania is hosting Distributed Renewable Energy Ecosystem Model Conference 2024. This landmark event brings together key stakeholders committed to advancing distributed productive use of renewable energy pure services in Africa, with a special focus on the agriculture sector. Peter Mganga attended the opening of the conference and has prepared the following report.
According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, in 2022, renewable energy supply from solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and ocean rose by close to 80%, meaning that the share of these technologies in the total global energy supply increased by close to 0.4%, reaching 5.5%. Modern bioenergy's share in 2022 increased by 0.2 percentage points, reaching 6.8%. Here, the Assistant Commissioner of Renewable Energy from the Ministry for Energy, Engineer Imani Mruma, explains how Tanzania remains to champion global efforts on the area of renewable energy.
We have other projects from the renewable energy, like geothermal power, from the projects at Ngozi, Kejombaka, Songwe, and Ilhoji. All of this is situated at Mbeya and the Songwe region. So all this will be contributing by 2025 200 megawatts.
On the other hand, Dr. Robert Damurira, who is one of the program officers of the Mount Foundation, one of the main organizers of the conference, says for the past 9 years, his foundation invested $16 million to support renewable energy initiatives across East African region.
Across the region, we've invested over $16 million over the last 9 years, and we have made new investments starting last year to an organization here in Tanzania, WWF, to run the Dream Hub. We've also supported in Uganda, we've supported Haifa International to do the same, and in Kenya, we're supporting the Kenya Climate Innovation Center.
Furthermore, some of the stakeholders participating in the conference explain how the concept of renewable energy is growing in their countries, especially in the East African region.
As a country, we developed a productive use of solar energy strategy and roadmap. In addition to that, we realized that there are other energy sources that could form DRE. So we are now developing an integrated productive use of energy strategy and roadmap.
We have to come up with initiatives that enhance technical skills and knowledge among stakeholders in the agriculture sector.
From this conference, we aim to achieve two main goals. First, to draw attention that there is a huge potential for the adoption of renewable energy in the agriculture space. Agriculture is the most predominant industry across the region.
This year, the conference focuses on financing an ecosystem of agri-solar entrepreneurs in East Africa, aiming to share innovative financing approaches and frameworks within the agri-solar ecosystem, identifying collaborative opportunities, garner support from financiers, and shape a supportive policy and regulatory environment for clean energy financing. Peter Mganga, TBC News, Dar es Salaam.
The newly appointed Commissioner General of the Tanzania Revenue Authority, Yusuf Mwenda, says under his leadership, TRA will strive to achieve the 2024-2025 fiscal year goal of collecting 30.4 trillion Tanzanian shillings to enable smooth implementation of this year's financial budget. He made the assurance in Dar es Salaam while assuming his new responsibilities as the new Commissioner General of the Tanzania Regulatory Authority, taking over from the outgoing Commissioner General Alfayo Kidata. He further insists that his authority will come up with a means to systematically formalize the informal traders to enable them to pay taxes, resolve disputes with taxpayers, and strengthen tax compliance, as well as issuing accurate income tax estimates.
To implement all the directives which the President has ordered us to implement. I want to assure all the taxpayers that TRA is here to facilitate their economic activities. We will work with them, we'll partner with the taxpayers, we'll resolve timely their tax-related challenges in order to enable them voluntarily comply with paying taxes.
Mwenda was appointed and sworn in last week as the new Commissioner General of the Tanzania Revenue Authority, TRA, replacing Alfayo Kidata. The Temeke Regional Referral Hospital has received 2 new ambulances as part of the government's efforts aiming to improve healthcare services in the country. The medical officer in charge of the Temeke Referral Hospital, Dr. Joseph Kimaro, says the availability of adequate number of ambulances will improve further the emergency and referral services in the hospital. More details with Emmanuel Samuel.
Dr. Kimaro made the remark during a handover of 2 ambulances to the hospital as a continuation of the government to improve emergency and referral services in Temeke Hospital. An ambulance can move from here to another place to carry out patients to Temeke Referral Hospital for proper care. Furthermore, Dr. Kimaro explains how they plan to continue to strengthen mother and child care services and reduce maternal mortality rates, while the Temeke Member of Parliament, Dorothy Kilavi, vows to continue to execute the ruling party's manifesto in achieving health services goals. In the figures mentioned by Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan, it showed that we have greatly reduced in deaths from pregnancy and deaths that could have been prevented.
I'm able to sit with our minister, and she has said that she is ready to bring funds to develop our hospital.
The hospital serves between 180 to 2,000 patients daily, with 250 to 300 patients admitted. Hence, the arrival of the ambulances will improve further the services offered at the hospital. Reporting from Dar es Salaam.
The Executive Director of Tanzania Media Women Association, TAMWA, Dr. Rose Ruben, says as Tanzania's local government elections nears, and it's important for women to fully participate in the process. Speaking to TBC, Dr. Rose insists that one of the important roles that TAMWA plays is to underscore the rights of women and the need for them to participate in the decision-making process.
Of those who are vying for the different positions, our main role is to make sure that we have enough women and girls in the decision-making positions, and therefore this year and next year our main role will be one, to advocate for women, but also to sensitize the importance of women being in the decision-making positions. TAMWA has a strategic plan, 5-year strategic plan, and one of the thematic area is good governance and democracy, which encourages women to be part of the participate in democracy and good governance. Women to vie for the positions, whether in government or in politics.
The Executive Director says in the previous 2020 elections, women made about 50% of the voters, reinforcing the role of women play in determining the future leadership and development of Tanzania. On the other hand, Dr. Victoria Lihiru, who is a lecturer at the Open University of Tanzania, says that it is paramount to have an inclusive voting system that supports a free and fair election.
Followers are women, but also majority of the voters are women. If you take an example of the previous elections that we've had in 2015, 2020, women made about 50% and more of the voters. So women have been at the forefront of the elections in Tanzania, both in the local elections but also in the general elections. It's paramount to have a favorable electoral system that will not only support women, but that will also deliver free, fair, and equitable elections. So research actually tells us that we need to transition. Most of the countries now are transitioning from first past the post electoral system to proportional representation. So that the proportional representation is the kind of system that is more inclusive of all groups, that can actually facilitate more women to become substantive elected leaders.
As the 2024 local government elections approaches, preparations are unfolding on multiple fronts, engaging both government bodies and stakeholders in the realms of politics and democracy. Some of the foreign investors in the country say for the nation to keep up with the fast-changing global technological advancement pace, there should be magnificent expenditure in technological equipment and system. The vice president of 6 United, which is a Chinese technology firm, made the call in Dar es Salaam while introducing a new technological equipment made by the company targeting to digitally streamline various commercial operations.
New additions exemplify our commitment to the excellence and innovations. And we have presented here like a 14-inch, 15.6-inch in the different generations of the newest chips, newest products we have.
Africa, abundant resource, vast market potential, and a robust growth momentum attract global attention. We firmly believe that the future of Africa will be a smart future. Following the guidance of the Belt and Road Initiative, Our friendship and cooperation between China and Africa have flourished like a towering tree, deeply rooted and thriving.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. TBC News every weekday. Stay tuned for the international news. And here's the international news as compiled and read by Nyambona Masamba.
International news starts in Africa. Fighting have been resumed between the government forces and M23 fighters in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. It comes only after 2 days when the U.S. broke out humanitarian truce fell through. Armed groups have recent months seized more towns and now they control large parts of the east. On Sunday, the M23 group accused the DRC Army of coalition helped by different armed forces for launching a new offensive on eastern territory of Lubera captured recently. Even if the DRC Army didn't act to these accusations, sources on the ground reported the attack between the two sides, which used heavy guns, including artillery. To the U.S., Boeing has accepted a plea deal on criminal fraud charge relating to fatal crashes of its 737 MAX jets. The terms include a fine of more than $243 million. At least 346 people were killed in a crash in Indonesia and Ethiopia between 2018 and 2019. The Justice Department found Boeing guilty of violating settlement, in which a company avoided criminal charges. The company was accused of repeating safety failures. Relatives of the victims criticized the deal, saying that Boeing now avoiding criminal charges caught, as well as billions in compensations. From America to Indonesia, at least 7 people have been killed after a landslide crashed into an illegal gold mine in Indonesia. 19 people have been reported missing in Sulawesi Island. The landslide was triggered by torrential rain. Indonesia officials say rescue missions for the dead are prevailing very difficult due to road being covered with thick mud and debris. From Indonesia to U.S., the U.S. President Joe Biden has been campaigning in a critical swing state of Pennsylvania, where he focuses his attention on message on black voters. Biden has affirmed his intention to rerun for election despite of a growing number of voices pleading him to step aside. He was introduced in the church as a young sniper. To Asia, the Philippines and Japan have signed a landmark defense pact that allows their forces to take part in training on military exercise together. The new agreement will give reciprocal access to their militaries. Tokyo has shared Manila concerns about Beijing actions in South China Sea. And Samsung workers in South Korea have gone on strike, demanding better pay conditions. Thousands of union members took part in a rally in Pyeongchang, which is near to Samsung headquarters. This is the start of 3-day strike. The company expected a rise toll more than $7.5 billion.
And that was the international news with Nyambona Masamba. Sports news is up next. And in sports, players signed in various Tanzanian clubs have been encouraged to learn more from other players who play in various advanced leagues globally so as to help their clubs do well in local and international competitions. Speaking during the announcement of the new soccer season, the multi-choice Tanzania head of marketing, Baraka Sherukindo, says this is the time for Tanzanian league players from various countries to showcase their abilities on the field so as to promote Tanzania football in the international arena.
This season, different leagues, including Tanzania Premier League, will be very tough because we have witnessed how clubs are organizing by signing good players as well as generating income from TV. Therefore, players have to showcase their ability in football pitch to make sure that their clubs are doing well, both local and international match, to promote Tanzania Premier League.
Clubs continue to sign new players to strengthen their squads before the new league season starts around the world. Meanwhile, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Culture and Arts and Sports, Dr. Suleiman Serela, says the government will continue to strengthen the Institute of Culture and Arts Tasuba Bagamoyo through the development funds so that it can fulfill its role of providing art and culture expertise for the development of the nation. Dr. Serera revealed that the government will continue to promote the institute so that it produces arts and culture professionals who will produce artworks that will conquer the world market.
As we know that culture and arts is not only entertainment, but is also economy. So through economic activities, and if they sell their works, it means they will get more money. From there, even our country will get more foreign currency, and at last we will see that this industry will go more higher, and even the country will benefit because our cultural activities will also be strengthening abroad, and the people will learn from us.
I think the government decided to establish this institution because there is that need that our young people, talented, they need to be guided by being given technical support like what we're doing here, getting the skills and knowledge of the arts and culture. So we are really appreciating for our leader coming to see us, coming to give us encouragement.
And that was the sports news. And now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, weather forecast for the next 24 hours is up next.
Hello, and welcome again to the next 24 hours of forecast, starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omar. Wind is expected to flow at 30 kilometers per hour over the northern coast, while southern coast, Lake Victoria, Tanganyika, and Lake Nyasa, wind speed is expected to reach 20 kilometers per hour. And tonight, dry condition is expected to persist over most part of our country with cool temperatures, especially over southwestern highland. And the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 7 degrees Celsius in their region. And tomorrow, few areas, especially in Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, and the Mara regions, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers, and sun periods, while the remaining regions are expected to feature partly cloudy condition and longer sunny periods. And now, let's have a look on the next 4-day forecast over some regions of our country. In Dar es Salaam, we're expecting in 12 to be orange showers over some areas, while Dodoma, we're expecting lowest minimum temperature to be 16 degrees Celsius. In Mbeya, the lowest minimum temperature we're expecting to be 6 degrees Celsius. Mwanza region, the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 70 degrees Celsius. While in Kilimanjaro region, we're expecting the lowest minimum temperature to be 17 degrees Celsius. In Morogoro region, we're expecting orange shower, especially in Perth. And in Arusha region, we're expecting the lowest minimum temperature to be 15 degrees Celsius. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, that is all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Kanki Mwegomole. Good night.